It really almost took 20 years for me to enjoy this movie the way I did. Let's talk about IMAX. I saw Speed Racer in IMAX recently this past week, and I gotta say, it was the best viewing I've ever seen of that movie. And I've seen that movie so many times. I actually watched the movie when it first came out in theaters back in 2008 as a little kid. And it's always been a favorite of mine. It's always been a movie that I've always resonated with, a movie that I loved. The music, the editing, everything about that movie is just so what I love in a movie. And then when I heard it was gonna come back in IMAX, I was just gonna go regardless. You know, I hear that one of my favorite movies is about to come back to theaters, I'm there. But then, I didn't realize how impactful IMAX was going to be in my enjoyment of watching Speed Racer. I think this is the best way I've ever seen Speed Racer, and that really isn't surprising. Speed Racer, it almost feels like it was meant to be seen in IMAX. Even though the movie wasn't really filmed in IMAX, simply seeing that movie in that big, large format just made a difference. And which brings me to my next point. IMAX is the future of cinema. I don't think any other type of format, no matter how good my home theater is, or even if I saw the movie in a normal theater, nothing compares to the type of experience I got watching Speed Racer on an IMAX screen. It really changed everything for how immersive that movie is. And I already know how the movie goes, and the immersion was the same feeling, if not better, from when I first saw the movie. Obviously, not everywhere has IMAX screens. Not all theaters have IMAX screens. There's still a process that is ongoing. But if you see the news, IMAX is investing to have more IMAX screens around the world. Often we ask ourselves, is going to a movie theater gonna be a different experience than watching it at my house? Now, obviously for us film lovers, the answer is always gonna be watching it in a movie theater, no matter what the format is the best way to enjoy a movie. But for the casual viewer, for those who are always watching maybe 3 movies a year, they need a reason to go to the movie theaters. And the IMAX, watching a movie in IMAX might be the key. Might be the key to differentiate watching a movie at home from watching it in a movie theater. And I experienced this again with Speed Racer. I love that movie so much, and watching it in IMAX, it bumped it up a couple more slots in my all-time list, because hearing that soundtrack, seeing those incredible racing sequences on the biggest screen possible, it really wasn't even the biggest screen available to me. Seeing that movie in that screen, it's just a whole different experience. IMAX is really the future.